What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we've got another official fantasy football mock draft to share with you in one of our leagues for the year. This is a 10-team half-point PPR setup where we are with two flex positions and picking out of the sixth slot. We're going to take you through each of these picks, through each of these rosters, and break it down for you. Hopefully, it'll be helpful. And as always, if you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, let us hear it in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this team, along with any other questions you guys might have? And lastly, check us out online at alldaypigskin.com. And while you're there, get yourself a copy of the 2021 ADP Fantasy Football Draft Guide. Everything you can want at a great value, details in the description. But with that being said, let's get right into it here. And we start in the first round where, look, pretty typical. Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, even this being a half-point PPR setup. Look, Alvin Kamara to me is a top 3 pick. You see that here. Then follow Derrick Henry and Ezekiel Elliott. So that sets up perfectly for our pick here, 6th overall. And I've been saying it all year long. Austin Eckler is my guy. Austin Eckler in any type of PPR formats, I believe he should be a top 5 pick. I got him 6th overall. Even if somebody like Ezekiel Elliott or Derrick Henry were there for me, Austin Eckler was my guy. I am very happy I got him. To me, that was a great start to this draft, immediately addressing the running back position because I anticipated a run on that position, and you're going to see we kind of got that a little bit later. But let's move on. We see Travis Kelce afterwards. The first pass catcher off the board, I was a little bit surprised by that, but you're going to see that here and there. Wouldn't have been the way I went. There were still some running backs that I thought had great value. Aaron Jones was one of them. Then you see a Devontae Adams, followed by Stephon Diggs with the final pick in the first round. And we continue onwards with Saquon Barkley. So here, Saquon Barkley goes with the first pick in the second round. All things considered, probably where he belongs. But at the end of the day, if I'm that owner, I would much rather have gone, a second running back to pair up with Barkley earlier on, because afterwards, if you wait, it could be problematic if Barkley isn't 100% or has some issues. Then you see Nick Chubb, Najee Harris. So that run on running backs starts here. Jonathan Taylor. And you might notice a name missing here as far as pass catchers are concerned. I did not expect Tyreek Hill to drop to me in the second round. But again, this is a 10-team league. There was a run on running backs. And with Travis Kelce going earlier, that opened the opportunity for somebody like a Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs potentially fall. In this case, it was Tyreek Hill. And I did not hesitate. I absolutely smashed the draft button. As much as I've talked about, Antonio Gibson, guys like that, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I thought Tyreek Hill in the middle of the second round, a guy that in half-point PPR scoring, I have as my number 1 overall wide receiver. I'm not going to second guess it. I'm taking Tyreek Hill there, and then I've done enough of these drafts. I've done enough practice where I can put together a solid running back crew. So we move on there. DK Metcalf afterwards, in my opinion, a little bit too early considering guys like DeAndre Hopkins and both Calvin Ridley were still available. Good value on Calvin Ridley there, 18th overall. Then you see Antonio Gibson, the aforementioned Gibson, towards the end of the second round. And this is what I've said before in these 10-team leagues. Expect guys like Ridley, Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire to fall to the end of the second round. Just the player pool is so much deeper, and there's just great value at some of those positions. So good value on Gibson, followed by Joe Mixon, the last pick. And here, we're going to get a little bit crazy here because auto pick, there was an auto pick instance in a couple rounds from now, but so far, nothing too crazy. Darren Waller. Again, I wouldn't have taken Darren Waller this early in this setup. I would have rather gone wide receiver or even another running back. Speaking of running back, you see Clyde Edwards-Helaire there. A.J. Brown. Love the value on Clyde and on A.J. Brown in this third round. Then we see Chris Carson. So I don't mind that. I've been saying Chris Carson in the third round is one of my favorite guys to target. Then you see Darrell Henderson here. So this was the pick right before me, and I wasn't expecting Darrell Henderson to be selected here. Again, Darrell Henderson took a step down in my rankings after the Sony Michel signing. It wasn't drastic, but at the same time, I think he belongs in the 4th round, maybe even at the end of the 4th round, and especially in 10-team leagues. And I was actually very, very happy because here, 26th overall, I was able to get James Robinson. And obviously without Travis Etienne, well, James Robinson is going to be the guy. That's the way I'm looking at it. Maybe there might be some question marks how Urban Meyer utilizes him, but I think James Robinson, there's no reason why he can't be a top 10 running back again. So I was very, very happy to pair up Austin Eckler with James Robinson, who to me is the clear-cut running back in Jacksonville. And I think he can be a borderline top 10 running back on the year again. Then afterwards, you see David Montgomery, Keenan Allen, great value on Keenan Allen, even in half-point PPR, followed by George Kittle, another tight end there, and then Justin Jefferson. So Justin Jefferson falls to 30th overall. Tremendous, tremendous value on that one. Not sure how that happened, but at that point in time, I really wanted to get a second running back here. So I was really locked in and focused on James Robinson. Then to kick off the 4th round, you see Patrick Mahomes, which kind of starts a run on quarterbacks, Josh Allen afterwards. CeeDee Lamb then followed by Mike Davis. I thought that was a bit early for Mike Davis, but a situation where that individual might have been in need for a running back. But let's kind of speed this up a little bit. Afterwards, we go Terry McLaurin. I was very happy to get Terry McLaurin as my 2nd overall wide receiver. Then you see this run on like this group of tiered wide receivers: Deontay Johnson, Amari Cooper. DeAndre Swift was somebody that I was considering when I went Terry McLaurin. I was considering all these guys, honestly: Deontay, Amari, DeAndre Swift, Allen Robinson. I went with Terry McLaurin. I think that he's a pretty safe player. I've got him, as a top 10 wide receiver or right around that range. I wasn't sure what to do with Allen Robinson because, again, some potential quarterback instability. So Terry McLaurin was the guy there. DeAndre Swift could potentially be a steal here if he pans out. Again, injury concerns, usage concerns. And I mentioned before, we got some craziness here. Cam Newton at the end of the 4th round, that was an auto pick. So, giving you guys some background on that one. So don't put too much attention to it. Unfortunately, that individual had to go on auto for the rest of the evening. But then Mike Evans, Robert Woods, really like the value on Robert Woods. Kyler Murray, a little bit, too early for me. I probably would have waited another round if he was still there, then pulled the trigger because there's still some really good value here. You see Tyler Lockett, Kareem Hunt, way too early in my opinion, 45th overall. Cooper Kupp, I got him 46th. I was ecstatic getting yet another wide receiver to add. Then you see DJ Moore. Myles Gaskin here I thought was pretty good value. I was kind of hoping he might fall to me in the next round. Gus Edwards here, obviously elevated because of the J.K. Dobbins injury. Then you see guys like Miles Sanders. Lamar Jackson goes 51st overall. Then you see Julio Jones, pretty good value, 52nd overall. Josh Jacobs, Adam Thielen. Then we pull the trigger on another one of our guys, and we start a little bit of a tight end run. We go TJ Hawkinson. Very, very happy to get him where I did at this point in the 6th round. Then you see Kyle Pitts and Mark Andrews. So officially that tier of kind of tight ends are gone. Chris Godwin, tremendous value where he went 58th overall. Then Robbie Anderson, J.K. Dobbins. Again, unfortunately, this was an auto pick and rankings weren't quite updated on NFL. So giving you some background there. Followed by Jerry Jeudy, Brendan Ayuk, T. Higgins. I like the value there. Russell Wilson, Kenny Golladay. Then we went Damian Harris, so adding some more running back depth. Raheem Mostert, Mike Williams, Chase Edmonds, Odell. And we'll start to speed this thing up and start to look at these rosters one by one. Noah Fant, Melvin Gordon, Michael Gallup, Trey Sermon. I like that pick. Sermon, we got Ronald Jones, so I was happy at that point in time. There goes Brennan Cooks. Good potential value depending on what happens in Houston. Tyler Boyd, Javonte Williams, a rookie running back. Chase Claypool, good value there. Then you see Devonta Smith, Rams defense. Again, another unfortunate auto pick. Antonio Brown, 82nd overall. I like that value. I was kind of hoping he would get to me. Cortland Sutton, Juju Smith-Schuster, Aaron Rodgers. Then I went Dak Prescott in the 9th round. I thought at that point in time it was a pretty good value pick. Then you see guys like Darnell Mooney, Logan Thomas, Corey Davis, Singletary, May Cole, Debo, Jamar Chase. Bucks defense, can't explain that one. Then I got Russell Gage, a guy that I really liked. Immediately right afterwards, Jamal Williams. I was kind of hoping Jamal Williams would fall to me, but he does not. So, it's okay though. Ultimately, I felt like we had pretty good depth. But let's quickly look at these teams kind of one by one and give you guys a better picture of these results. So we'll go here with this first team. You see Stephon Diggs, Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, Miles Sanders, Lamar Jackson. So this team loaded up on two top-end quarterbacks, trade bait type of situation. I don't like that. And then Saquon Barkley is your number one running back. Who's your other guy? Miles Sanders, just as many question marks, running back by committee. I don't like that. You see Odell, Noah Fant, Devin Singletary, some very questionable running backs. You're going to have to rely on Singletary and Odell, as two flexes here. So I don't love that situation. Tevin Coleman, we'll see what happens with him. Kenyon Drake. So I think it could have been better. You got two good wide receivers, but afterwards I am a little bit concerned. So we go to Hot Locket here, our next team. And this is a team that I really like, actually. Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So immediately right out the gate, three great running backs, I would say. One of the better running back trios you're going to see in this entire league. Obviously, this is an individual that is pretty intelligent when it comes to drafting. Afterwards, Allen Robinson, Robert Woods. I did think Robbie Anderson was a bit of a reach there in the 6th round. Brendan Ayuk, though, Chase Claypool did a tremendous job here of loading up on wide receiver talent. Justin Herbert in the 10th round. Michael Carter, we'll see. That's kind of a dart throw. Then Higbee, Goddard. So not a bad team here. Definitely will be a competitor. Let's continue to move on. Here, this is another team that I actually like a decent amount. Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Chris Carson, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett. This team went very, very heavy on the Seattle Seahawks, so going to live and die by the Seattle offense. But hey, it's a hell of a stack, and I think there's going to be weeks where they single-handedly win this individual some games. Mark Andrews, Russell Wilson, Tyler Boyd. So pretty good squad here, I would say. The bench could be better, however. That's where I kind of have some nitpicking to do. Juju Smith, and then Connor, Lindsey, Pollard, Madison, and Penny. So hopefully this individual doesn't suffer injuries because their starting roster is very, very good and will compete. Then another team that I really like here, Alvin Kamara, Calvin Ridley, A.J. Brown. First 3 picks, tremendous. DeAndre Swift, kind of a boom or bust pick, I would say. Then you see Kyler Murray in the 5th round. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, if you thought that he wasn't going to get back to you in the 6th, not bad, but I thought the way this team was structured could have gone in another direction, maybe get another running back, something like that. Chris Godwin, though, tremendous value. Higgins, good value. Javonte Williams, not bad either if he pans out. That'd be nice. Cortland Sutton, Robert Tonyan. Then you got some, again, taking flyers on some other running backs. Dylan, Zach Moss, Sony Michel. So I don't mind that here. Just the only difference, I wouldn't have gone Kyler Murray as early as this individual did. And DeAndre Swift, I think he will probably be the guy that decides this team. If it plays up to the potential, then great. If not, could be problematic. Then we move on, and we see here another team. Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb. Love the start to this squad. Myles Gaskin, I also really like. But then it kind of gets questionable afterwards. Josh Jacobs, somebody that I have question marks about on that offense with that line with, Kenyon Drake joining the team. Then Mike Williams, Michael Gallup, guys that I think are just way, way too boom or bust. Logan Thomas, I do like. Jamar Chase, relying on those rookie wide receivers. Latavius Murray might not even be on the team in a couple of days. Marquez Callaway, I do like. Then you see Ryan Tannehill. So get some... a late round quarterback if you punt on that position. I really like the first 5 picks here, but then I do think it kind of just wore off a little bit. And then let's show you our team spend a little bit more time here. So you see Austin Eckler, Tyreek Hill, I think it was one of the best values in the entire draft, even though it was only the 2nd round. Very happy with James Robinson. And even if he does struggle, I like my depth at running back. You see Terry McLaurin afterwards, Cooper Kupp. Love TJ Hawkinson, got one of our guys. Then we went running back heavy. You saw I commented about it, getting running back depth. Damian Harris, Ronald Jones, in case James Robinson struggles. Dak Prescott, I went Russell Gage. Then I did take a flyer. You guys didn't see this on Michael Thomas. Look, if Michael Thomas returns and plays still the majority of the season, this is what I was talking about Thomas as a luxury pick. If you can afford to get him in the double-digit rounds and you've done a pretty good job of putting together your team, that's how you do it with Michael Thomas. So I'm very, very happy there. Look, even if he doesn't contribute a single game for me, honestly, I don't need him to, because I think the first 10 picks for me are tremendous. I went for a high upside pick and a backup quarterback in Jalen Hurts if something happens there. And then just a couple late round selections: Jared Cook, Naheem Hines, Manuel Sanders. Those guys might or might not even make it on our roster come week one. But let's kind of round this thing out with a couple more teams. Travis Kelce here, Jonathan Taylor, David Montgomery. So this is what happens when you go tight end early, folks, in the first round. Jonathan Taylor, then David Montgomery, then Mike Davis. You hit the running back position pretty hard. You have to. And then your wide receivers. Well, DJ Moore and Adam Thielen are your starting wide receivers. I don't think you've got a true top-tier guy out of that group. Then Raheem Mostert and Trey Sermon. I do like the fact that this team was smart enough to lock down the San Francisco backfield. That's nice. Darnell Mooney is somebody that I do like. Michael Pittman is also somebody that I do like. Matthew Stafford, great. Ramondre Stevenson, Jonnu Smith, Tua. So all things considered, I actually really like the bench here. But the wide receivers are, kind of what has me worried at this point in time. And again, this is why I usually say, going tight end early can be a little bit risky if you don't pull it off quite the right way. Then looking at another squad here, Devontae Adams, Nick Chubb, George Kittle. I like the start to this draft. You see Josh Allen afterwards, Gus Edwards, followed by Julio Jones. And then we get to Chase Edmonds and Melvin Gordon. I'm a little bit nervous there. Essentially these are going to be two starters for you at the two flex positions. And I've got question marks about both these guys. Then Corey Davis, Deebo Samuel, Jarvis Landry. A decent bench here, though. Brady, Shepard. So all things considered, not a bad squad. I think this will be another team that has a lot of potential. And then let's take a look. We're going to skip this team again because that was the auto pick team. So no use really in going over that one too much. But finally here, Ezekiel Elliott, DK Metcalf, Darrell Henderson I thought was too early. DK Metcalf probably too early when somebody like a Ridley and a Hopkins was still there in my opinion. I do like Deontay Johnson. Kareem Hunt I do like, but not in the 5th round. Kyle Pitts, that was a nice pick. Afterwards here, Kenny Golladay. I'm a little bit kind of fading him because of injury situations and just, I don't trust the Giants offense. And Daniel Jones, Brendan Cooks could be a value pick. Aaron Rodgers, Jamal Williams, I really, really like. Randall Cobb, though, in the 11th round, I don't like that pick. Gronkowski, just touchdown upside. That's what you're hoping for. Shark, and then nothing too special. So I thought there were some reaches here and, just could have been better and a lot of question marks. But hey, again, I'll show you guys our team so you can kind of see that one last time. And at the end of the day, though, hey, let us know your thoughts in the comments section. What do you think about these teams, about our squads, along with any other questions you guys might have? We will do our best to answer them all. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, and lastly, check us out online at alldaypigskin.com. While you're there, get yourself a copy of the 2021 ADP Fantasy Football Draft Guide. Details in the description. And in the meantime, we'll see you guys in future videos.